In our Intro to Knitting class, because we just started our scarf, we don't get to talk about how to cast off. So I'm going to do a quick video for you to show you how to cast off. The easiest method to cast off, you simply, let me get my yarn here. We're going to knit this first stitch, slip it off. We're going to knit this second stitch. Okay, now this is the method I like to call leapfrog. This is just your standard cast off. So you have to have two people in order to play leapfrog. So I have two people here. This first guy's on a leash. See, I got him all tight right there. So I'm going to kind of hold on to his leash, but I'm going to hook myself under this first guy, and I'm going to leapfrog him over the second stitch and off the edge of the needle. So I'm just going to kind of drag him like this. So you can see I'm using the needle tip to keep that first stitch that's on the leash on my needle. Okay, there we go. I've slipped him off. Now I'm going to knit the next stitch. So now I have two, so I can play leapfrog. I'm going to grab this guy. He's going to jump over the first guy and off the end of the needle, just like that. Now I'm going to knit this next guy, grab this guy, jump him over. Now when you are performing this, you want to make sure that these stitches are nice and loose. So you can even like, whoop, see how I kind of made that loop a little bigger? I can snug it up by pulling on my ball yarn if I want to, but I want to make sure that this is very loose. This method of casting off can be very tight. So if you find that you do not like this after you become an avid knitter, because it is too tight, there is a video of mine on Craftsy called 40 Ways to Cast On and Bind Off. And they give you many more options on how to get a stretchy cast off or a firm cast off or what's good for lace, etc. So that is very helpful. But if you're just starting out and you're careful about how tight these are, this is a very good beginner cast off. So I will just finish this up here. That way you know what to expect. So I'm getting down to my last stitch here. So I've got my two. Now I have one stitch left after this and I don't have anybody to play leapfrog with him. Okay, so let's just talk about him. I'm just going to pull him nice and big. Okay, so you can see on the edge that you have this really pretty cast off, okay? So if we're pretending that this is a very long scarf, this was your cast on edge and this was your cast off edge, okay? And obviously there would be more than 1 inch in between. There'd be like, I don't know, maybe 60 inches, something like that. But you can see that it makes this really nice rolled edge, and you can tell that I didn't pull it too tight because this end isn't curving, okay? So sometimes if you do it too tight, it's curving like this. So you can very carefully just kind of pull it out and get these loops back on your needle, and then you can try again. But this one looks pretty good. Now, if I was to actually cut this yarn, what I would do is I would cut it right over here. I would take that end, shove it through this very last loop, okay? We'll just sort of fake do it. And we would pull it nice and tight, just like that, okay? So this would be one piece, and then obviously it would be cut. So it would look more like this, okay? Now this is where, even though you have a tail here and a tail over here, we'll pull this out, we don't want to cut right at the knot, okay? This is where you want to get a darning needle, which is a large blunt eye needle with a large eye. And you're going to put your yarn through there, and then you're just going to kind of sew it willy-nilly in along the bottom, and you would do that to this one too. Sew it in like that. Now after a time it might poke out after you wear it. You poke it in with your fingers or get a darning needle again, but that will prevent your knot from coming apart, okay? And that is the very basic cast off.